Hello and welcome to the week. The long standoff between Ladakh leaders and the central government is heading for a resolution. So what was this standoff all about? Well, to begin with, when Ladakh was separated from Jammu and Kashmir and granted a union territory status, the people in the Leh, which is a Buddhist majority district, rejoiced over the status of a union territory for the region. But those in Kargil, which is a Muslim majority district, resented the move by the central government and wanted its reversal. After a few months, it dawned on the people of the Leh that while the union territory status was a good thing, but the protection that they had when they were part of Jammu and Kashmir and what Article 370 provided its residents, like protection to land, culture, jobs, and barring outsiders from settling in Jammu, Kashmir and Ladakh, was all gone. So quickly we saw that the people in Leh then formed Ladakh Apex Body, which was backed by the powerful Ladakh Buddhist Association, to demand constitutional safeguards for the region, because the people in Leh felt that if without the safeguards they are vulnerable to demographic change. They also opposed corporates coming to Ladakh and using its resources and minerals for business and trade, and therefore they said that the central government, while they thanked the central government for union territory status, but they said that they need a sixth schedule on the lines of some northeastern states to protect the unique identity of the Ladakh. People in Kargil, they also formed a Kargil Democratic Alliance comprising various social, political and religious bodies to press for the demand of statehood. So we saw while in Leh, the Buddhist majority Leh, they demanded sixth schedule. Those living in Kargil, they demanded statehood. So it quickly dawned on the people in Leh that without having Kargil on board, they will not be able to put up a fight for their rights with center. So the LAB then approached KDA for a joint fight against for safeguarding the land, jobs and identity of Ladakh. The Leh Apex Body argued that Ladakh is a huge region, deserted, very cold as the temperatures go down in winters to minus 40 degrees. They said that although it's a huge deserted area, but its people are mostly tribal and their rights need to be protected on the lines of people in Northeast who enjoy sixth schedule. So the center then forwarded a high-powered committee under Minister of State for Home, Nityanand Rai, to have a dialogue with representatives of LAB and KDA. And it went back and forth. The center said they were ready to accept some demands, which included the demands that the KAB and LAB put forward was statehood and sixth schedule. They also wanted protection to jobs, all the government jobs for the local residents of Ladakh. They also demanded that there should be 2 seats in parliament for the Ladakh, one each for Kargil and also for Leh. They also said that all the Ladakh should have its own public service commission. So it went back and forth. The negotiations happened by the center while showing willingness on demands regarding jobs, domicile, protection to land and other rights, but center was not willing to concede on the demand for statehood and sixth schedule. The center said that statehood and sixth schedule was out of question. Center however showed flexibility on other demands, and also the center said that it was willing to extend certain provisions of sixth schedule to Ladakh, which are applicable to northeastern states, but sixth schedule per se in toto cannot be granted to Ladakh because Ladakh does not qualify for this. So because of this, when the parliament elections were held last year, because of the resentment and anger, the BJP, which had won the Lok Sabha seat, the lone Lok Sabha seat in Ladakh twice, lost the seat to an independent candidate which was backed by Congress and National Conference units in Kargil. So because of the split in the Buddhist vote between Congress and BJP, the independent Hanifa Jan got all the Muslim votes from Kargil as well as some Muslim votes from Leh. So we later saw that the center was not budging on the demand for sixth schedule and statehood. We saw the noted climate activist Sonam Wangchuk then sat on a hunger strike for many days along with his supporters in Leh. The strike was supported by many politicians and activists across the country, including some film stars. And then we saw Sonam Wangchuk last year in September made a yatra, Pad Yatra from Leh to Delhi via Manali. And when he reached Delhi, he was arrested. He said he wanted to go to Jantar Mantar to protest and to peacefully protest for the demand, but the police took him in under detention. And during detention, he sat on a hunger strike, and then the Home Ministry sent a message to Sonam Wangchuk that they were ready to resume the dialogue. And we saw that last month there was a dialogue resumed and between Ladakh representatives and center, wherein the center showed extreme flexibility by reserving 95% of local jobs, government jobs for residents of Ladakh. The center also agreed to grant 2 parliamentary seats to Ladakh region, but subject to the condition that once the delimitation is completed in 2026, then both Ladakh will get 2 parliamentary seats. Currently Ladakh has 1, so 1 each for Kargil and Leh. The center also said that it will prepare a domicile law which will protect and address the concerns of LAB and KDA. And then because of this, we saw that since these are the main concerns that addressed the demands of LAB and KDA, Ladakh leaders, because when they found out that all the jobs and that the center is also going to make a favorable domicile law for the region, then they showed willingness. They signaled their intent that okay, now since most of their demands have been resolved, and the center also promised that the gazetted positions in Leh will be filled very soon at the earliest, and it also said that center would consider a separate public service commission. If not, then as per the choice of the leaders of Ladakh, Ladakh will be merged with the public service commission. All the positions regarding public service commission will be filled from Jammu and Kashmir. So now the Ladakh leaders, having gotten more than what they had bargained for already, most of their demands have been met except sixth schedule and statehood. Then they showed their intent and signal that if now the center grants Ladakh an assembly, they would be ready to forego the demand of sixth schedule and statehood. So center has said that okay, then the discussions will go on this, and it seems that now the center has addressed most concerns of the Ladakh leaders, and Ladakh leaders are more than happy with the deal that the center has offered by accepting all their demands. So currently Leh and Ladakh have hill councils. These hill councils were started, they were formed in Ladakh to give the region a sense of self-governance, because the Ladakh region felt estranged with Jammu and Kashmir when they were part of Jammu and Kashmir. So in the late 90s, it was allowed, the hill councils were first allowed in Leh and later in Kargil. So now chief negotiators from LAB and KDA like Tashi Gelson and Hanifa Jan and Sajad Kargili, they told the week that if the center is ready to give Ladakh an assembly wherein they will be able to elect their own representatives, then perhaps the demand for sixth schedule and statehood will not arise. So it will address that demand also. So with center having addressed most concerns and the law also showing willingness, some flexibility in extending some provisions of sixth schedule to Ladakh, and with Ladakh leaders ready to concede on this demand if the center grants them an assembly, it remains to be seen whether the center will accept this demand. But the standoff that continued for 5 long years, and also given the fact that this standoff coincided with Chinese intransigence in Ladakh, so center was keen to address the political issue in Ladakh while at the same time facing the Chinese in Ladakh borders. So with this, the resolution has been finally found, and it seems that the long standoff in Ladakh is coming to an end.